What's up, everybody? It's Jesse Ziegler from Cycle News, and I'm up here in McCleary, Washington, just outside of Seattle, for round 7 of the WORCS racing series, where KTM invited us to come out and try their new 2020 TPI models. Today I raced the 250 XC TPI because I'm really excited to see how the TPI technology transfers over into the more aggressive competitive models in KTM's lineup. We've had really fun times up in the mountains and on more off-road rides on the XCW or even the Husqvarna sister brands TE models of the TPI injection bikes. And this really gives us an opportunity to see what the next step in the evolution of that technology is going to look like on a racetrack. The racetrack up here in Washington is just phenomenal. The dirt's really cool but deceptive. It's not super tacky as it looks. It's really slippery, and gosh, you know, the bikes just worked really well for that. They're really good at dropping the RPMs and getting a lot of traction. You can ride them like a 4-stroke and have a really good time. The fueling is absolutely spot on all the time. There's zero chance the bike's going to stall if you're carrying a gear high through a corner. And the acceleration is really smooth and consistent, which is perfect for a place like this where you have varying traction conditions. There's a lot of loose rocks, a lot of loose roots, and man, just a really fun time. So we're gonna have some more time on this, hopefully back in California, and maybe we'll get to take it out of state again, this and the XCW model. Really a lot of new stuff on these bikes. Obviously this is new to have the new TPI system in the XC model. The XCWs basically have caught up now with the XC lineup. They have the same frame, same chassis and everything, except they're missing the linkage. And they have the Explore fork instead of the exact Air fork. That in the transmission, that's about the only difference between the two bikes. I'm just excited about 2-stroke technology in the future. They're clearly not dead. They're clearly a blast to ride. You can not compare how much fun you're having when you're out there racing a 2-stroke compared to a 4-stroke. It's just a different feeling overall, and you just really get engaged with the motorcycle and you get to really feel what the bike's doing because there's not so much noise going on around you, basically. All in all, awesome event, really, coming up here and getting to see a totally different type of terrain that we usually test bikes in for KTM or any other manufacturer. Getting to line up at the WORCS race series, which, you know, such a family-friendly event. It's got classes for everybody. I raced 250 B class. I could have raced open B, or I could have raced like a 40+ B class. So you can definitely come up here and get your money's worth. If you're going to come up and do a camping trip, maybe hit a local race, I'd highly recommend the WORCS series. You get an hour-long race, which was plenty for me today. I definitely worked the muscles I haven't worked in a while. And if you want to do multiple races like that in a day, you can do it. So once again, thanks for everybody at KTM having us out here. We had a great time testing the TPI bikes. We can't wait to try them more and just keep playing with them and see where this 2-stroke technology is going to go in the future. There's some obvious visual differences when you look at the TPI models from KTM this year. First you're going to notice is the stamped expansion chamber pipe on the front of it. They're corrugated for strength, reportedly, from the KTM folks, and also the whole shape of the pipe is more oval and more compact. What that does is it gets it up closer to the frame. The difference is about the length of one of the spacers that you used to have on all your 2-strokes that used to connect your drop part of the front expansion paper pipe to the frame. There was always that rubbery sort of grommet thing. That's gone now. Basically the tab off the pipe bolts right directly to the side of the frame, and the pipe's up really close. That's given these guys a lot more clearance over obstacles, so you know your 2-stroke pipes aren't quite so disposable as we all know they can be when you're doing trail rides. Similarly on the rear, the exhaust system got a big update. This is like a bigger size of a silencer, but it's actually a little shorter and tucked in. They're trying to control some center of gravity numbers there, and it sounds great. And the thing you're going to notice if you ride a TPI bike for the first time is there's virtually no smoke or oil or anything coming out of them. So in our experience, you know, the silencers are going to last a really long time because they're not filling up with extra oil in the gas. You're not going to start to have a blowed out, like, nasty sounding silencer, which is super cool. Another unique thing about the XC bike, on top of the WP Exact suspension with the linkage and the Exacts with the air technology in the front, is it's coming with a 51-tooth rear sprocket now. That's given it, you know, a little more pep, tightens up those gear ratios a little bit, gets a little bit closer to the motocross transmission ratios, and you can really tighten up your shifts. Out here in Washington, it came in really handy a few times. I'm telling you, I was third gear on this bike where I would normally be like on a 454 stroke and just just dropping the clutch and letting the RPMs drop really low, you again have virtually no chance of stalling the bike. The TPI injection system does such a great job of keeping the fueling rolling. I think that's about it for all the major updates. There's a frame change and an engine change that rotates the engine a little bit, a few degrees forward. Again, controlling some CG and trying to get that pipe sucked back in to keep it out of the way. You know, the fuel injection system is going to be updated every year and probably monthly in the R&D department. So just continue to see updates in that every year. This is the best one I've ridden, and I've ridden 3 generations of TPI now. So it's a really exciting bike. It's one of my favorite bike platforms. I've owned a 2010 250 XC. I loved racing it. I loved using it as a trail bike in Idaho. And I'm just excited that they just keep making them a little bit better all the time.